Pirate, because his number is 21RRR. Finished 7th. Joe Humphrey, racing the 88 car, made his debut last Saturday, in the American Stock 88. Solid 6th place.
Good run.
Tyler Johnson made his debut in a brand new, beautiful number 24. Finished 5th. He started 10th and was able to make his way up there, which is a great run.
But not a surprise when it comes to the Johnson gang down there at Bakersfield.
Yeah, but if you listen to our pit crews, everybody saw that 24 car, and it's bright red with blue numbers, and it could have been sponsored by Target because everybody had a target for that car.
Right.
There was so many people going, I want to put the first donut on that one. I want to ruffle his feathers first. And these were family members talking that. You know, that's the Johnson family. They're like, hey, somebody's got to do it. Then we've got the 174 of Kevin Black finishing 4th. That is a Dachshund team member.
Right.
Ethan Dachshund Racing team member.
Right.
Another Ethan Dachshund Racing team member, the 74, Miranda Scott, finishes top 3 in 3rd.
Good run.
Then we've got Kenny White in the 316. An outstanding run for this man. This car, it literally looked like somebody put a couple extra cylinders in it.
Just flying.
Compared to the weeks prior. It was just driving. You know, he was leading a lot of the laps, staying out front and driving away from people. Unfortunately, late cautions. You bring the sharks back up to you, and eventually one of them's going to bite you, and that's what happened. And it was Brandon Radcliffe in the number 3, winning for the 3rd time this year.
As I say, no surprise
he
for.
He started in 8th.
That's a good run.
Yeah, it was a solid run for him. He was happy for it because he didn't think he was going to be able to catch up to him. He even mentioned it that, that 316 machine was gone, and he was lucky that, some late cautions were able to bring him back up to him so he can make a run for it.
Good deal.
Yeah, it was those guys. And Corey, Dom, as well, those American stocks, they put on a heck of a show.
Oh, yes, they do.
I got such a kick out of watching them. I really had a lot of fun just watching
one of my favorite
them.
classes there at Bakersfield. Absolutely. No doubt.
Yeah. Speaking of one of your favorite classes, we'll go from the American stocks to the hobby stock.
Yes. Now we're talking.
Yeah, no, these are machines. These are your Camaros, your two-door Novas, those type of machines. The American stocks are more your Cadillac, your bigger cars. But these hobby stocks we had a good turnout. We had 17 cars turn out for this one. Another solid turnout. Unfortunately, there was quite a few racing incidents.
Oh.
We'll put it that way. It's hobby stocks. A lot of those guys are driving hard, and racing happens.
Racing happens, Mike says.
Nuh-uh.
Yes, definitely does. We'll go top 10 on this one. We had 17 cars for this one. In 10th spot, the 8K of Kyle Uto. Great run for him. Had some issues early, was able to battle back. Finished in the top 10. The 27 of David West. He finished in 9th spot. Another good run for him. Had some very early issues, but was able to battle back. He started on the pole, got an accident, and then had to start in the rear, and then drove back through up to a 9th spot. 8th spot, the 52X of Jerry Flippo. Now, this car the story about this car is it started off as a car from Perry Alderman Jr.'s crew. Every week, this car comes with something new on it. The second week it came out, it had a new hood. Then it's got white door panels and front fenders. Now it's got a Camaro new end on it. It had mudcaps yellow one time. Now it's got chrome wheels. They're just doing whatever they can to make it stand out so people can see it. And it's great because Jerry is driving a hobby stock, a mod light, and a modified this year.
Busy man.
And he's like 17, I think.
Wow.
17 or 18. Young kid. But speaking of Perry Alderman in the 52 car finished 7th.
Now that 52, they bring a whole gang of cars down there to Bakersfield.
Oh yeah, they usually bring two hobby stocks, one American stock, and then whatever else the Flippo family brings. 2 mod lights and a modified usually.
I couldn't believe that.
Sounds like the AMCO team at Willamette.
You can't believe that. The guy who finished 6th brings a toter with 2 cars in it, an extra trailer with a car in it, and his towing company comes in and brings 2 to 3 extras on a flatbed.
Nuts.
Can you guess who it is, Corey? I know you know who it is.
I do know, and I know we had our stickers on his car. Oh, God.
It's the 74 of Wayne Dotson.
Right. I know that. They had a towing company. How'd I forget that? But a talented driver. Wayne is one of those guys that, when he unloads, you have to beat.
And his car looked like he was starting Memorial Day a week early because it had a barbecue going under that machine the whole night.
Oh, no.
There was white smoke everywhere, but he still finished the race top 10 in 6th.
Not bad.
Not at all. Then the Dr. Tom Manzella in the 48X finished top 5. Great run for him. You got Raymond Nolan Jr. in the 5, the blue 5 machine. Solid drive for him. He started in 7th spot. Then you've got Nicholas Johnson in the 1N. Started 11th. Drove up to 3rd.
So that's one of the drivers down that I'm a fan of.
The surfer kid. Absolutely.
That's what I call him. I call him the surfer kid. I'm not kidding you. He's kind of like, he's the golden boy. He's got the long blonde hair. I mean, it's the kind of guy that walks to the track and the chicks just flock to this young man. I mean, he not you, Dom.
Yeah,
but the kid has got a
he's
ton.
One of those kids that you think should have a skateboard, not a race car.
Right. But man, oh man, can that young man drive.
Yeah. But he's not. He's going to hear it for the rest of the week still because his brother Cody Johnson finished 2nd.
Oh man.
Oh yeah, and they didn't even get off the track, and Nicholas was already hearing it from his brother Cody.
Love it. I love that.
Oh yeah, and winning this year for the first time, the 17T of Brian Terry.
Nice.
A couple weeks back, he had a bad pedal. Started towards the way back, stuck in some calamity, didn't finish the race, was, up to his eyebrows in anger because of it. Comes back, gets a decent pill draw, wins his heat race, wins the main event.
Good deal.
Yeah, it was good to see Brian Terry able to do that because it was something that he needed to boost his confidence as well. All right, then we'll jump up to the NMRA 3/4 midgets. 3/4 midgets this week. They had 8 cars come out. Normally it's a little higher than that. They had with some issues in previous races, didn't get a chance to make it out. There was a couple of drivers that were in different cars than weeks prior because their primary cars had damage to them. So in 8th, the 36 machine of Wes Evans. Now, for those of you guys that don't know, Wes Evans has an abundance of championships in the NMRA TQ midgets. For him to finish 8th in this race means something for those other 7 drivers that were there.
Anytime you can finish ahead of the guy that you're unloading to beat is a good night of racing.
Absolutely. In 7th place, Kevin Kale in the 07 machine. He drove a heck of a run. He was up there towards the front, had some motor issues, and retired early from the race. Last year's Rookie of the Year, Jason Arnold, in the 2P, finished 6th. In 5th spot, the 11 machine had a substitute driver for the main, so he had to start in the rear. The substitute driver, maybe some guy by the name of Chuck West.
Right, okay.
Yeah, between him and West Evans, I think they've won almost every championship in the past 20-some-odd years. Or at least it seems like. He finished 5th spot. Then you've got in 4th, a rookie. She made her 2nd race of the season. This time, last time she was in the 7 machine. This time she was in the 20. She's from Santa Maria out here. It has her name as Taylor James, but she has been married since last year, and it's now Taylor McEwen. So I'll give her husband the props because he got the last name, because he told me all about it, that I kept calling her Taylor James during the races. So I'll give it to him. But she started 4th and led all but maybe the last 5 laps of this race. And she wasn't, the reason she finished 4th is because she had motor car issues and dropped down at the end and was able to kind of cruise around to keep a 4th place finish. But she had the car to beat, and she was driving away. She was at one point she was almost 3/4 of a lap ahead of everybody.
Heartbreaker.
And the announcer couldn't even get her name right.
And it happened during a caution. Caution came. They slowed down into caution lap speed. Car never recovered.
That's too bad.
Yep. Top 3 is going to be Don Brashear. He started on the pole in the 70 machine, able to bring it home in 3rd. Then you've got Dave Lambert in the 55 from Port Hueneme. Now this is a Vietnam veteran.
Been around a little bit.
Out here running. This car was his son's car. And he decided, you know what? I need to show the young whippersnapper how to do it. He hopped in this thing. 2nd place.
Good run for the old-timer.
Absolutely. And taking the win, starting in 6th spot, the 77 of Ace Kale.
Started 6th and got the win. That's pretty good.
Well, he drove a very smart race. He was about 3rd or 4th most of the race, and then when Kevin Kale and Jason Arnold and Taylor had issues, he capitalized on those issues.
That's what makes good drivers
and was
great.
Able to, it's not how you start the race; it's how you finish.
Absolutely.
And that's how he finished, was on top. Now we'll go to the late models.
Let's do it.
I know you guys have been talking about late models and guys calling out each other, going, "Hey, where's the car? Where's all these late models at? Bring the heat, bring the noise, and let's go racing." Yeah, those are falling on silent ears out here as well. It's not just a Northwest issue. It's a whole West Coast issue. The late models are just down.
And let me ask you.
Oh, no.
Why do you think that is, Mike?
I think the late models have always been a touring type of class. They go from track to track and kind of like the NMRA TQ midgets, where they're not specific to one track, and they travel around, and they're supposed to be a feature. Well, when there's a whole bunch of Indians and there's not a chief, there's nobody there to run the whole show. Back when it was thriving, they had a front with people up front running it, keeping everything legit. Promotions, money was there, sponsors were there, and it goes. now it's kind of